Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. Happy New Year to everyone. We are anticipating an absolute incredible year going into 2024. And hey, let's not just speak it into existence, let's make it one. I do think that 2024 is going to be huge for crypto, obviously, and I think that's going to be an absolute game changer for the industry. Leading up to what has been happening so far in the space, it has been a very crazy time around crypto. And I'm sure that you are all aware of that as well. If you've been around for a little bit of time in crypto, you know that things are getting a little bit more interesting. But for the most part, all eyes are on what's been happening around legality issues, regulations, standardization, things like that. One of the biggest things that we just recently seen was the SEC win, which is kind of crazy to think about because it's funny, but they have been losing greatly. So as we really look at some of the decisions, this one is not surprising, right? News, the SEC just scored a victory in its case against Do Kwon and Terraform Labs. It took roughly well over a year, but we finally got it. And within this, if we actually open it up in a new tab, we could actually see that they mention multiple tokens are actually unregistered securities, specifically Luna and MIR, and the other ones as well as UST, Luna, Wrap Luna. They're all kind of in the same exact category, like these four tokens here. And a quote here is, "There is no genuine dispute that these four tokens are securities because they are investment contracts." He further ruled that Howey's definition of an investment contract is a binding statement of the law. So I believe that all of these are going to be delisted on all major platforms and things like that, which, again, are we really surprised by this, if I'm being honest? Like, if we really talk about what's been going on, I mean, at the end of the day, this is not surprising. And in fact, I was actually hoping that this would happen simply because we know what's been happening around Luna. We know what was happening around Luna at that time. This is not surprising. But we have over here from Eleanor Tourette, this passage highlights the key difference between Terraform Labs case and the Ripple case. But beginning in March of 2021, holders of UST could deposit their tokens in the Anchor protocol, which defendants' efforts developed and which Kwon himself publicly announced would generate by far the highest stablecoin yield in the market, with a target of 20% fixed APR. This is what the judge said, that Kwon's repeated statements led investors to believe that they could make a profit due to the efforts of Terraform to develop its blockchain. Rakoff was easily able to establish that retail sales of UST, Luna, Wrap Luna, and even MIR satisfied the Howey test as an investment contract with Terraform Labs, while Judge Torres was unable to prove that one existed between Ripple and non-institutional purchasers of XRP. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely interesting. Again, you know, these are facts, right? And it's a guarantee of return. That's the big problem here. Even Bill Morgan is quoting Stuart Alderati, which, by the way, I do have Stuart Alderati's statements open up in a new tab. Totally particularly agree with the first point, facts matter. The facts in the Terraform case are very different than the facts and evidence in the Ripple case. If programmatic sales of XRP are not investment contracts and XRP itself is not a security, but other tokens or secondary market sales of other tokens are securities, that is because of different facts, and the Howey test is fact specific. And I completely agree with this statement. And I have no firm view on the merits of the Terraform case, but here are a couple of thoughts on yesterday's ruling. 1, facts matter. 2, Judge Rakoff does not criticize, let alone even cite Judge Torres's Ripple ruling. 3, the SEC's forever crypto ground war fighting token by token is lengthy. Litigation is a fool's errand driven by a quest for political power over sound policy. So yeah, I mean, listen, as we really look at what's going on, I mean, I completely agree with this ruling. I think anybody that's going against this ruling probably didn't really follow what was happening at the time. If you did watch any of the interviews with Do Kwon leading up to the big act that happened, aka Luna crashing, Terraform going under, things like that, then you would assume that, yeah, there was a lot of guarantee of return. There was a lot of discussions around returns, things like that. And it only really benefited Terraform and Do Kwon. But with Ripple and XRP, it's a completely different statement. It's a completely different statement. The only reason why I'm bringing this up and the only reason why I'm talking about, this decision with the SEC is because we are now seeing a lot of people saying that this is going to harm the entire industry, that this is going to hurt the XRP ruling and things like that. And even Stuart Al-Radi is talking about this. I laugh when I see a crypto critic call the Terra ruling mammoth and then say Ripple's victory is minuscule. Ripple's win was a broadside, but even a small crack in a battleship compromises its structural integrity and will eventually sink it. And this is a pretty large statement by the CLO. Remember, right? A lot of individuals were talking about what was going on around the XRP case leading up to the big decision. A lot of people were saying, I don't think that Ripple's going to win. I don't think that XRP is going to be cleared. I don't think that this, I don't think that. And it was a lot of uncertainty around the case. And I feel as though it was a lot of uncertainty even around XRP leading up to that point. But then we got the decision. And it was clear that there was still a lot of demand for XRP leading up to the case. There was probably a lot of people that weren't even holding XRP that were still watching XRP waiting for the decision. And then we got it. And it was a huge win. In fact, when we talk about how big the win was, Axios put out a statement on December 20th from NFTs to XRP, the biggest crypto stories of 2023. You guys probably remember this article because I did even note it on the channel. And if we scroll all the way to the bottom, we have XRP rolled, not a security. This year's biggest bombshell remains mostly misunderstood. While the court found some impropriety in how Ripple Labs originally offered its cryptocurrency XRP, this was a footnote that history will ignore. What really mattered, U.S. District Judge Annalisa Torres ruled that the asset today no longer qualifies for securities regulation. This was SEC Chair Gary Gensler's worst loss, coming on what has been the biggest legal issue for digital assets. How the government categorizes these instruments determines how freely they can trade in the U.S. And yeah, it was one of the biggest wins for the entire industry. We're not just talking about XRP and Ripple. Remember, Ripple was fighting for the entire industry and they won. Now, of course, the battle is not completely done. We're going to be talking about that here in a second. But also even CoinDesk put out an article, a landmark ruling by Judge Torres in the Ripple case would redefine how digital assets are treated legally, reshaping the crypto landscape. Like I said, this is just beyond Ripple and XRP. This is the entire industry being affected by this win. And this was posted back on December 4th. And we do see Annalisa Torres, the judge who gave Ripple and XRP hope. And this was creating a narrative around crypto that, listen, you could win. It's going to be expensive against the SEC, but I don't think that it's going to be that expensive for other individuals that are going to be targeted by the SEC. Because Ripple as a company spent $200 million on this case, right? Like, let's take a step back and let's think about this. They spent $200 million on this case to win. They won. And it's a win that can be utilized as an example in court by other players that are targeted now. And when we talk about that, that's a substantial thing to note because it allows for, this example to be brought back up and be reflected on if the company or project being targeted by the SEC is in the same situation. And it saves them, I'm sure, over $200 million in fees that, like I said, Ripple did pay. That's why this win is so crucial, because it does reflect on the entire industry. It's not just Ripple and XRP. This is a big deal, and it was a big deal. It's something to really kind of think about, because I feel as though a lot of people are undermining the true narrative around this win. It was a big win. Now, beyond this, the reason why I'm bringing this back up and the reason why I'm talking about that is because I did see a post over on X, and it was actually from RizXRP, and it's from a Thinking Crypto One podcast with Johnny Deaton, and it's essentially the SEC versus Ripple case was just the beginning of the war against crypto. Vote these folks out and check out the video here.
I've never been in the room with Gensler, but I have talked to and interviewed lawyers who have been in the room with Gensler. He is a megalomaniac who walks in and lets you know he's the smartest man in the room, right? Immediately. But when he lost in the Ripple case, he doubled down. He's doubling down. He's not going to step back and be like, maybe we got it wrong. Maybe we should revisit our theory, or no. It's like, okay, we'll appeal it. Let's sue them all. Like, that's his mentality.
Wow.
And I think people have got to accept that we're in the biggest part of the war right now. The biggest part of the war wasn't the Ripple case. You know, that was the beginning of the war. That's what that was. That was the beginning of the war. This introduction by Elizabeth Warren of a bill that 20% of the Senate already agrees with. So I just want you to know that there are 100 senators, 1 out of 5 minimum are ready to ban crypto.
So yeah, I mean, as we really look at this war, it's not just going to stop with Ripple and XRP. It's not just going to stop with any player getting targeted. They are going to continue to go after this industry. And just like Johnny Deaton is saying, like, when we look at Gary Gensler, there's a big problem with him, but it's also a big problem with the SEC. They are looking at this space as an easy to target space because it's still very early on. It's still a very nascent industry. There's not any rules or regulations around it, even though Gary Gensler and the SEC are saying that there is. This is why wins and losses that we can reflect on, right? Let it be known, these two wins and losses side by side are very crucial to reflect on, because the Ripple and XRP case, right, gave us what we need to know about how to go about crypto. And it was a massive win, a win that almost everyone outside of crypto, or even in crypto, if you hate XRP, was saying, yeah, they lost. But what people didn't think about was, what if Ripple did lose this case? What kind of ammunition would the SEC have now? The entire industry outside of Bitcoin would have a major problem because they would all be in the crosshairs of Gary Gensler and the SEC. And again, this decision with Terraform, right? This is actually beneficial. It shows us that any guarantee of return, any CEO that's going out there that has a project or platform, whatever the case may be, and is saying, hey, you are guaranteed a return, or you can make this much utilizing our platform. It is the best platform out there. You need to be looking into it. I mean, like, when we really look at what's been going on here, it's kind of crazy, but this is beneficial because it shows us what to do and what not to do around crypto, which is technically, it's already there. I mean, realistically speaking, these are facts. We know what not to do, what to do around crypto. These projects, these companies, they should also know this. But again, there's going to be bad actors and good actors in the space. When we look at Ripple and XRP, they've been the most transparent around this space. XRP as a currency, or as a project, if you will, the XRP ledger, it has been around forever. We know about it. We are aware about it. But when we look at this win, it was a huge one. And it was a huge statement that was made for the entire industry. And I think that a lot of people just forget that this wasn't just a win for Ripple and XRP. It was a huge win for the entire industry. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.